Let's see. Your fourth question is about Balanchine's classes. When Gelsey Kirkland and Suzanne Farrell were in the company, how did the classes look like? Were they different than other classes? Well, this is an important question because there are a lot of myths about Balanchine's class, that it was super, super fast, that it was possibly harmful for the bodies, that he experimented in class and used it as a laboratory. All this is not true. His classes were very similar to the classes of Asaf Messerer, who was directing the Bolshoi when I was taking those classes in my youth. And they were also very, very similar to a teacher at the School of American Ballet, Pierre Vladimirov, who was quite elderly, but he had been Anna Pavlova's partner. So this is all pre-Vaganova technique. And both of those men's classes were extremely fast, just as fast as Balanchine's. Balanchine didn't choreograph in class. In other words, he didn't use class as a laboratory, really. He wanted to clean us up, make us stronger, especially make us move faster and cleaner. He pushed us to the limit, and we rose to the limit, and then he pushed more, and we kept improving. I mean, that's you don't get better in an easy class. You only get better in a hard class. So that's something that students must remember. If the class is difficult, say thank you. Thank you, teacher, because that's how you're going to get to be a better dancer and also have less injuries. Now, what Balanchine did do in class is if there was a particular young dancer that inspired him, like when Gelsey Kirkland joined the company, and there were lots of different dancers like that, that had a certain technique and talent, he became interested, and so he would kind of focus on that dancer a little bit and give them things to try to push their technique. Gelsey was always very quick as a dancer. She was always had a very fast technique. So which came from the school. He didn't invent that. That came from her teachers at the school. So Balanchine was fascinated, and so for her period in the company, they were a little bit more jumps and a little bit faster, but that I think benefited all of us because we all had to keep up, as it were, with Gelsey, which was fantastic. It all made us better. Now Suzanne was not a big jumper, but she had she was a quick dancer for a tall girl. She could move really fast. And she was a daredevil, and she took chances, and so when Suzanne was in the company, Balanchine's class veered a little bit more towards her style. In other words, he would have us dare more. And Suzanne was extremely bright, so intelligent, and so she could pick up Balanchine's combinations very fast. So Balanchine always said, the brain is a muscle too. He'd say, no, dear, brain is muscle too. So he would give us brain teaser combinations, but the steps were not classical ballet. The steps were absolutely academic classical ballet. He would just put glissades and jetés together in very interesting ways. But the big thing about Balanchine and all the great teachers I've had is repetition. For students, it's like lifting weights. It's just do the step over and over. Balanchine would give 16 tendus, then he'd give 32 tendus at the bar, and then he'd give lots of jetés and lots of grand battements, and not in complicated patterns at the bar. It was just the repetition, and I found that was just the most helpful of any teaching, is the repetition.